All right, we're going to give everyone, just started this, so going to give it a couple minutes. Let's see if it goes live. Make sure people get into here, and we'll see how it all works out. All right, it says we're live on YouTube, so hopefully we get some people join up in here. We got a lot of stuff to go over. All right, it says we're live on YouTube. All right. Kind of an impromptu, I was going to do a video on everything, but just decided I'm going to come in here and just do a live stream. You're staying here about an hour or so. What's going on, Randy, man? Welcome to the channel, my man. We're going to give everyone a few minutes to come in and join the live stream. And we got a lot of stuff we're going to go over in today's video. I'm super excited about it. Well, I shouldn't say video, in today's live stream. All right, man. I appreciate everyone joining in. Everyone leave a comment if the visual looks good, audio sounds good, and we will be good to go. Brent says he's ready. Any news? I don't have anything new as in news updated, but I do have a lot of stuff to reassure why I am still very bullish on the whole situation. What's going on, Bezos? Welcome in, my man. All right, I'm going to refresh that so don't lose what we got there. We're going to talk about in today's live stream. All right, so you guys saying it looks good, sounds good, all that good jazz. Says we already got some people hopping up in here. How many outstanding shares are there on MMTLP? There is roughly about 165 million outstanding shares. What's going on, Rhymes at AMC? Howdy. All right, so we got some people in here. We're going to go ahead and just get started on what I got for you guys. Hey, Brian Rapp, happy man. DM Candela, thank you. Hi to you as well. All right. So we're going to be, of course, talking about metamaterials, tickers of MMAT and MMTLP. Hey, Palm, what's going on, my man? All right. And of course, if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you get that bell notification on, so when your boy goes live, that way you get that pop up on your phone that we are live and ready to rock and roll. Okay. All right, so let's just get into it first here. The first thing I want to go over is on Fidelity. I want to go over the options chain. That's right. We got a lot of talk here. We got speculation of the options expiring. That's right. Ticker symbol MMTLP is going to be expiring. So yeah, that's right. MMTLP is going to be expiring, and a lot of speculation that with those expiring. Larry's Treasures, thank you. DM, yes, hit the like button, smash the thumbs up, leave a comment down below. It helps out the algorithm. Come on, man. We need to get this information out. All right. So here we go. We're on my Fidelity account, and you can see here on the options chain. And if I click on this here, I want to make sure you guys can see this. And I'm going to make sure it shows up on my phone, that it does show you the pop-up box. Perfect. It does. I'm just making sure you can see it. All right. So here we go. This is the MMAT1 options. That's right. The 100, you get 50 shares of MMAT and 100 shares of MMTLP stock. And as you see right here, the open interest on Fidelity is 3,249 open interest on that option. Now, I do have two options contracts left. I did go through and exercise options early on. I got two contracts that I'm going to hold up through pretty much the expiration date, just in case something crazy happens. Then I can bring you guys that information. By me holding those options contracts, that way then I can bring you the information here on my Fidelity account. But as of right now, now the one that is just the adjusted, the MMAT2 option, there's only the 50 shares, and that one only has 227 interest. Now, these are the adjusted strikes here, guys. These are adjusted. If we get down here and look at the January 21st, the regular options, you got the $1, $2, $3. Look at this here. This is crazy. All right, so here we go. Look at this. The $3 open interest. Over 8,671 open interest on that at $3, guys. there could be some big movements here if we get some, let's say, we get some movement on the stock. There's a ton of, I mean, look at the $4 strike right now here on Fidelity. Open interest, 12,902 open contracts. Woo-wee is all I'm going to say on that one. And look here at the $5 strike, 14,114 contracts on the open interest. And even at the $6 strike, 9,499 open interest. That is just like, whoa, that is a boatload of open interest right there. I mean, you're talking like 21, 35, probably close to 50,000 open interest calls from the $3 down to the $6, $7 strike. Probably about 50,000 close. That's pretty nuts. Actually, I'm going to go through and add these up real quick, guys. Let me go through and just do the calculator, and I'm going to show you guys what the heck it is, because I know it's a lot. So here's what we're going to do. For these here, we're going to add just, these aren't even including the adjusted options, guys. These are just the regular options. So 86.71 on the $3, 12,902 on the $4, 14,114, and plus 9,499. Okay, if we just do the $3, $4, $5, and $6 options, 4 options, guys, that gets us a total of 45,000 contracts, a little over 45,000 contracts. So keep that in mind right there. 45,000 contracts. You can see the numbers there. Match up with the $3, $4, $5, and $6 strikes. If we add in here the $7 strike, we go to plus, and that's 46.41. All but 50,000 contracts, and that's 100 shares per contract to keep in mind. So if we would times that by 100, woo-wee is all I'm going to say. There it is. Bam. That is how many they would have to get out. So like I said, that is a boatload of contracts and shares they're going to have to get out right there, guys. So keep that in mind. And after we get back here to February, February's starting to build up a little bit. We take a look over here at the puts. They do have some puts. The highest one I see is here at the $3 put. Over 5,228 contracts on the open puts. Okay, so I got a couple tweets here that I actually want to go over with you guys. Let me get the chat back on my phone, because that's how I keep up with everything that's going on here. All right. Yeah, so we're basically saying almost 50,000 option contracts if it could get to $7. Now, that is stretching it. I don't know if we'd even get to 6 unless there's some big news would come out. $6 could be possible, but 3 and 4 is probably likely. 5 could be pushing it unless we get the divvy news, which will definitely push us up. All right. So there was this tweet back here posted on November 11th. This is a reason here why I am still very bullish to this day. I go back and find this information, and I just want to share this information because it keeps me motivated to keep you guys motivated, because we don't want to sell and lose out on our opportunity here. Check this out. This person here, Snowball, tagged John Berta back on November 11th. John Berta, I am thinking about going all in on MMTLP with cash. 70,000 cash on hand. I already have close to 200K. Just need some to surpass my goal. What do you think, John? Like or no like? John Berta replied back to this gentleman, and he did say, with all due respect, you know I cannot give you an opinion on this. Do what your gut tells you. And Snowball replied back and said, thank you, John. That's all I need. So there it is. I would think if John didn't, in a sense, here's how I'm taking it. You guys can take this information how you want. I am taking this information that if John wouldn't recommend this individual to put $70,000 of their cash into buying additional MMTLP, the preferred share dividend, he just wouldn't have responded at all. John did not have to respond at all here, guys. So that's what I'm getting at. He just wouldn't have said anything, but he did come out and acknowledge the post, and he said that he can't really give advice on it, but do what your gut tells you. So like Snowball said, that's all I needed to hear. So that there keeps me very positive on the dividend, because you got John Berta there. You can go under John Berta's Twitter page and go to his tweets and replies and scroll back to November 11th, and you will see this, guys. All right, so the next thing I wanted to cover, I'm going to see a couple chats here real quick. We got Lee saying, hi, Terry, and the Meta Millionaires. Thank you, brother. How many short shares of Torchlight is out there? Jeff asked. Man, I don't even know. How many shorted shares of Torchlight is out there? Now, if I'm being transparent, I myself did my first video on TRCH, I believe it was back in June. So I was kind of starting to get my knowledge on Torch and Meta around June. So I wasn't back in the early Torch days. I came in right around that June timeframe, right before the merger hit is kind of when I started getting into it. So I wasn't really fully aware of how all the short information worked. So yeah, I just want to be transparent. I didn't really know too much about the Torch information. All right, so here we got a comment from Rhymes here that says, I think Smokey said it was around 10 million failure to delivers when he looked up Torch on the Ortex last week. Yes, I believe that sounds about right, because Smokey does have Ortex, and they did Torch is back on Ortex. And I think he pulled it up, and it was around there. So you can go check out Smokey's, one of his last video, Uncle Smokey. He did put out a video saying about how many there was. But here we go. People still comment in my videos to this day this exact question. And here you got Metamaterial News back on November 18th. Now, back on the 18th, we were still a little skeptical. Was MMTLP the real deal? And here you go. Can anyone make this clear? If you purchase MMTLP shares, are you eligible for the dividend payout? Hashtag MMTLP. And John Berta, which you don't know who John Berta is, he is the former CEO of Torchlight Energy. He commented back on that post and said, unfortunately, yes. That was not the design, but FINRA and a couple other BDs went around us. I don't know who he means. Maybe big dogs went around us. No, they won't tell us who it was. So there it is as well. If you're worried about buying MMTLP and it's not being confirmed that you're going to get the dividend, you got the former Torchlight CEO shareholder here saying that you do get it. There's also the press release on MetaMaterials, guys, that covers it as well. All right, another thing here to keep in mind as well. There was a post here on George back on November 26th where he today my Form 4 was submitted. We exercised our options and bought over 1.6 million shares. He had to sell the minimum amount of shares to pay the tax man, the government of Canada. And keep in mind, guys, this is the CEO of MMAT. Almost all my net worth is tied up in MMAT. Check that in mind. Keep that in mind. And my options had an expiry date of 2030. He says, I will continue to increase my position in every opportunity I get and for the foreseeable future, guys. So there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Make sure I get this here up to date, the chat. All right. Yeah, so more posts here, just refreshing the memory of all this great stuff that we have here, where you got the former CEO of Torch, you got the current CEO of MetaMaterials. Guys, I think we're going to be in good hands here with the dividend. Here is a post that I retweeted on my Twitter page, and I did this one here where I tagged MMAT, John Berta, and George. I said food for thought. This was a post back on John Berta's official Twitter page back here on October the 15th. Let's click on it and see what this is about. So someone here, apparently he was talking about CNN and things like that, and apparently someone must have, I guess, hated that he tweeted about CNN. It must have been a little bit of political views here, so we're not going to get into that. But John Berta here says, this is my personal account. I will tweet what I want. If you don't like it, don't follow me. I will talk about whatever. Sorry you think I owe you my personal time 24/7. And down here, he commented again. I tweet about MMTLP and MMAT because it's personal to me. I have a very large positions in both, and I am personally vested in the success of both. However, I can help. I mean, what more do you want, guys? Like I said, this is the official John Berta account. Sterling has confirmed this. This is the real deal John Berta. So keep that in mind. We had that situation where someone was creating a fake John Berta YouTube account. And Sterling has talked to John Berta back in the Torch days. Sterling is an OG of the Torch days. I came in kind of right towards the end of the Torch days, the last month of Torch days, I believe. And Sterling has been following Berta. Berta follows Sterling. They had communications. And Sterling has confirmed this is the real deal. So I trust Sterling. This is the real deal John Berta. And John Berta came out with that whole situation on the YouTube account situation. That was a fake John Berta YouTube account. John Berta, he acknowledged that he does not comment on YouTube. So if you see anything there, it's not John Berta on YouTube. This is the real deal John Berta. So I just wanted to put that out there as well. And if we go here to John Berta, I did like that. Where was it at? He actually retweeted my post here, guys. He's done this a few times with some of my posts, actually. John Berta retweeted my post where I'd said about the price target being 650. And that was just me retweeting about this article here that goes over the forecast. Now, I covered this article in my last live stream. So the previous video, if you want to know more about what's going on with that, how they came up with this figure, make sure you go watch the last live stream. And I think if I go back here, I had an article from Fox News. He retweeted of mine as well. Let's see. Any info about the semiconductors? Not right now, Joe, to my knowledge. I know it's exciting that we are in the semiconductor sector now, which is great. Sly says, just get the divvy. I think the divvy is going to be right around the corner. In my personal opinion, that'll be remain to be seen, though. I think the January 21st options is going to be probably the end of the road of the dividend. All right. Once those expire, I got to find where he also shared one of my posts here. I'm not going to, maybe it's under his tweets and replies. That's what it is. But anyway, we're not worried about that. Let's go back here to, I got all these up. I had all these up ready. We got a couple of videos we need to watch as well. We got a couple of videos we need to watch as well. I found about talking about oil and what a special dividend is. And these are some videos I think will break it down. All right, where are we at here? Not those. I already covered that. I covered that. Covered that. Oh, one thing I do want to touch base on as well. I did talk about this in a video, but in case you missed it, there was this post out here that Danielle got a tour of inside of the building of the metamaterials facility here in Dartmouth. Hope I pronounced that right. Dartmouth. And she got to go in there, got some pictures of George and of the facility. She's longtime friends with George. Pretty awesome right there. I did message her, and I do have a conversation with her, and I did get permission that I could share our conversation. I asked her if she would be willing to come on the channel to do a interview at some time. She said not as of right now, but maybe sometime in the future she could do that. But she did say, I told her about I have a YouTube channel. I talk about how, you know, I'll have her in the channel that George and George we trust. We got all our investments because of George. And she said, you know, George, here's what I can say. She said, George is a great guy. That's what we want to hear. Someone acknowledging that George is a great guy. We already knew that, but it's nice to get the confirmation from her. She's had tweets from back, which is, I know it's been a couple years back. I can't remember if it's been 2018 or 2019. She actually had a tweet from Elon Musk, man. So that says something. I mean, I know it was a couple years back, but that's pretty cool that she had a tweet or a reply from Elon Musk. So that means she has some big deal to get a reply from Elon Musk, in my personal opinion. But she did tell me that George wants to say more, but he's unable to. She literally said that he wants to tell the retail investors more, but he unfortunately is not able to right now. It's just a matter of time. So hearing her say that gets me like super excited. Hey, DJ, yes. All right, let's see. There we go. Phil, I don't mind if whatever, but you don't got to come on here and you're going to be negative in the chat. We don't want any negativity here. It's all positivity. If you got negativity, take it out the door. So anyway, yes, DJ, smash the like button. Yeah, actually, I have Microsoft Teams, and that's how I did my live stream with Roller Pigeon. Actually, was through Microsoft Teams. So if I ever have anyone on the channel, I would use Microsoft Teams that we could do it. All right. Yeah, but Danielle said that George has information he wants to tell us retail investors, but unfortunately he can't right now. So that gets me hopeful that there's going to be some news coming right around the corner. All right, so we covered Mr. Berta, covered here on the Fidelity. Let me get a couple of these tweets out of the way. And we'll keep that up for the Twitter. Okay. All right, so first, I got this video here I found from 2019, guys. It's a video, and it's crazy. This gentleman is an actual financial advisor. So he is a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor, but this gentleman, we're going to watch this little clip on. He is a financial advisor. And this video is just specifically talking about what is a special dividend. So sometimes it's nice to hear what something is from someone else that's maybe outside of the current situation. This is a video published back in February 2019, has a little over 2,000 views. The channel has 117,000 subscribers. Do you think the dividend will be announced before January 21st? I don't know. It's possible. I think we may get an update on the well drilling, but I don't know if they're going to announce the dividend before then. I'll tell you though, if I'm being honest, I hope they do announce the dividend before January 21st, because I got those options contracts. Because in a sense, I'm holding those up to like the last day, because if they announce a divvy, I want to show how much those options contracts are worth. So in a sense, I'm willing to throw the money away in those contracts for the content. That's basically what I'm telling you guys, that I had those two options contracts, and I want to be able to bring that content in case they announce anything on the divvy. If the MMTLP price goes up, if MMAT stock goes up, I can bring you how those options are doing and what they're currently worth. Right now, they're not looking pretty good. Actually, I could show you what they're worth because I had Fidelity up right here. Right now, they're about, they were trading, because it says the bid was $35 and the ask was $65. And when it was letting me selling it, it was going to be like $50, I believe, was the sell price. So you could buy these contracts for $50, but it costs you $250 to $250 to exercise. So you have about $300 all in. Actually, the big spread here on this contract, actually, in my personal opinion, like 30 cents. What cruise are you going to take of your divvy? Also, besides MMAT, what other stocks are you looking at? Joseph, in Yonk we trust. Hell yeah, man. I do have a cruise coming up here in July of this year, July 2022. So we'll see if the cruising industry hangs in there, and we'll get to go on that cruise. I got very lucky to go on cruising when I did. Oh, let me get off there. Unsubscribe. There we go. I got very lucky to go on cruising here in what was it? End of October into November. We had no situations, no COVID things on the boat. It was perfect. All right, so here we go. Let's watch this video, guys. And here we go.
Point series where we teach you something new, get the hell out of the way, let you get back to life, do what you got to do. We're financial advisors here at Jazz Wealth. We help all size investors. We're the only one asking all size investors for your business. Check us out at Jazz Wealth. Really, really cool what we're doing there. Well, today we're going to talk.
So real quick, you can see Jazz Wealth Managers, and he is a financial advisor. I think this is one of the only channels that I ever went on. He says, I am a financial advisor. So that is pretty interesting. Let's get into it.
About special dividends. You know what a special dividend is? Actually, I did a video recently on how dividends work, so be sure to put that above for you. But special dividends are sort of rare, and I want to kind of go over this because if you're looking through your investments and your transaction history and you see all those dividends in there, lots of our funds on our website that we use here do pay dividends. We build and manage our own portfolios so we can control the dividends there that we want to have. And maybe you're looking through that and you see a special dividend. Again, these are kind of rare, and as the name implies, they're special, right? It's a one-time sort of thing that happens every now and then, and I want to explain how they work. Now, in your transaction history, you may see that special dividend. To give you an example, Park Electrochemical, the symbol is PKE. They just recently paid a special dividend of $4.25. They sold one of their businesses. And see, that's what happens a lot of times. A company may have a series of businesses or different assets, and maybe they sell off part of their business or sell off some of their assets, and they get this influx of cash. Well, they may not need it for anything at the moment, and so they determine that the best course of action is to pay their shareholders for working with them, for investing in the company. They want you to hold on to the stock. So by paying you, you get a little dividend there. Now, closed-end funds, they can actually do the same thing. You may have one of those funds or exchange-traded funds in your portfolio, and they're kind of rare, but they do pay dividends as well. Morgan Stanley actually just had one that paid out about $1.20 as well. So know that that is also something that's popular. The bottom line is special dividends come when companies sell off parts of their assets, have some kind of windfall that they came into from the sale of assets or from a really good quarter maybe.
Man, does a lot of this sound a little bit familiar about special dividends, or is it just me? Charles says there's 87 million shorted shares of TRCH. Wow, I hope that is correct. That is a lot of shorted shares. Edward says hello to you as well, my man. All right, so a lot of information here in this video. A lot of it does apply to our current situation. And maybe that the reason they want to transfer, because this isn't going to be a part of MMAT. So when they announce a dividend, it's not going to drop the price of MMAT because it's a whole separate entity. It's currently under MMTLP. So once they pay out the dividend, unless there's some kind of later payout, it'll just, the dividend will be worth a certain amount. They pay it out, it goes down to that unless there's further disbursement down the road. Let's keep going on this video here.
It could also be that they have excess cash reserves and they're currently investing everything they can to grow their business, and so they want to pay out some of that to you. Well, another way that you might notice this, and really popular these days, is in REITs, Real Estate Investment Trusts, REIT. Well, real estate investment trusts have to pretty much pay
All right, so I think that there pretty much covers everything in this video that I wanted to show you about. All right. Yeah, that video there pretty much showed everything that I wanted to cover about how what a special dividend is. And as we know, Metamaterials bought Torch. They said, we don't want nothing to do with the oil and gas. We just want to sell it and give it to our shareholders, people that hold this special dividend, which now you can buy it, MMTLP. We got confirmation from both John Berta, George, and Metamaterials that it is the real deal. You buy MMTLP, boom, you get the divvy. All right. There's this interview here by this gentleman, Sam Margolin. He is from Wolf Research. He has had a lot of interviews on CNBC about oil. This gentleman is an oil expert. I've watched a few interviews with this guy, and I wanted to bring you this particular interview and go over some of the stuff that he has to talk about with oil. Now, keep in mind, this was back September 9th, 2020. So this is a little dated interview, but still some of the information is pretty relevant to our situation.
Maintain that dividend?
So they've stated, as a matter of policy that this year they don't need to issue any more capital, debt, or equity to cover the dividend. You're right. A lot of it has to do, there's a lot of attention paid to near-term movements in oil. Our estimation is that for 2021, Exxon would cover the dividend organically at around $50 Brent after announcing some spending cuts and some more expense cuts that we expect to come. That's before asset sales. So they could also sell asset sales. They could also sell assets to fund some of that payout. But every day that oil's below 50, you're probably going to see doubt expressed in Exxon stock as to whether the dividend is sustainable. We think it is, but we can't convince everybody.
All right, Sam, I'm curious. You talk about those other strategies, including asset sales. If a company like ExxonMobil or hypothetically a Chevron or some other oil major in the world sells assets, who would be buying them?
So the trend that we've seen, there's been a long trail of asset sales, even from the start of the crisis. And the trend that we've seen is that operators are typically able to sell assets to local companies. So, for example, Exxon sold its production in Norway to a Norwegian company. So local companies at the nation of production are incentivized differently to spend there and keep production stable. And so there's typically an appetite from a domestic company at any given production country to take over assets. Now, price and valuation come into play too.
I wanted to just touch base on one comment that he made there. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this on my Twitter or not, but we're going to give it a go. Cannot remember if I retweeted about this or not a while back, but he talked about when they go to sell assets, they like to stay near people buying it wants to buy something that's near. I think we talked about NextBridge. Now, I don't know if I have that here. I'm sure I had to have something about NextBridge on my Twitter here. But NextBridge is pretty much exactly the same information. Here it was. Here to Drop Knowledge had this information back on December 17th. Here to Drop Knowledge. Boom. Talks about all this here. We got the screenshots, luckily. Boom. Look at this. 134,000 net acres. Over 3,100 well locators and 3.2 billion barrels of oil. And look at this here. Greg McCabe joins Valor, Masters in Oro Grande. This all looks very, like I said, here you can see the corporate office, the Oro Grande project. This is what we want to see. So this is potentially what we're looking at right here is this NextBridge. Now, I think they recently took out their website. If we click on it, yeah, it's still protected. We can't even do it. All right. So we got here Tasmeme says, when can we expect a divvy? In my personal opinion, I think it's going to come. Now, expecting the dividend is kind of tough to say. But I think here, I mean, they said in the first quarter of 2021 is what they said. Q1, early Q1. So I think they're waiting for these January 21st options to expire. So I don't know if we'll get any update on the well drilling before then. But I don't think we'll get a dividend announcement until those options are out of the way. So we will have to see on that. One question. Just trying to catch up. Some of you guys have some cryptic messages here in the chat. Trying to decipher what it is. Jacob says the password to the website is WinDivvy2022. Yes. I think that is the password. All right. All right, so here we go. Let's get back to this interview with this gentleman here talking about oil and gas.
But that's the pattern that we've seen, is that where the market's open is where you can sell production to a domestic company from where that production is located.
All right, so Sam, where exactly then in your coverage universe within the oil and gas sector, which dividends right now appear the safest? You mentioned ExxonMobil. Is Chevron safe, or are the other big exploration and production companies safe? Which ones are the relative safe dividends versus ones that could be cut?
Chevron appears to be the safest dividend. I think Exxon is safe too, but just by the numbers, Chevron is safer. What differentiates Chevron is the fact that it has the least amount of debt in the sector. And so, worst case scenario, they have the capability to issue more debt to pay the dividend until the market clears up, and cover their expenses that way. And they could do that for 3 years at $30 oil before they're even at a peer group average of debt load. So that's how little debt they have relative to the industry, and that's what gives them the runway of dividend safety. Having said that, though,
kind of funny looking back in this old article, he was talking about how Chevron could make it 3 years if oil was trading at $30 a barrel. Where's oil at today? Like $75. Like I said, this video was back on September 9th, 2020, on CNBC. You can see WTI crude oil, $38.16, guys. Oil has just been on a run here as of late. So, yeah, I'm thinking we're looking pretty good for this divvy, in my personal opinion. Whether the deal is done, not done, I do know if we go back and look at the ConocoPhillips oil, they announced their whole deal partnership was done on December 1st. They actually signed the deal, I believe, or had the deal done back in July 1st. So it was like 5 months later. So we'll have to wait and see here.
If the hurdle is $45 to $50 oil, we actually do think we're going to be there next year. It might be a volatile process, but the fundamentals line up to that level.
All right, so let's talk about then some of the other companies besides the major integrated ones. Is it refiners that are safer? Is it the oil and gas exploration production companies? Is it the oil field services companies? It seems that all of them are levered in certain different ways to the price of oil.
That's right. And you could even drill down further than that. I'd say refiners specifically are the most exposed to these demand fears that you referenced at the beginning, right? Refiners are closest to the customer within the value chain. So if demand is the issue, then that's probably going to impact refining most sharply, because the industry will adjust its supply at a slower pace. Integrateds, the major oils, also have exposure to some verticals that are actually really working. In the petchem space, demand is increasing for medical tools and supplies that are consumers of polyethylene and other plastic products that are made of oil and gas that the major integrateds are exposed to. So by and large, it feels like the integrateds have a cleaner exposure to a more sustainable dividend than just a pure demand play in the refining space.
All right. So there was that clip as well. Here we got a comment. Let's talk about the 87 million shorts. Are these trapped shorts? Charles says yes. The last short volume I've seen before the merger was 87 million, around 40% short interest. Yes. Now, that is something we have talked about a little bit before. Is we always cover here. Let's just go to Fintel real quick. We go here and look at the Fintel. Look at the short interest. Keep in mind, guys, this information here that we're looking at on Fintel does not include TRCH. This does not include Torch. I know, like I said, I know Smokey had in one of his last videos, he could pull up on Ortex the last day that Torch traded, and the shorts were trapped. So Torch went away, and now they still haven't covered. They have to cover because Torch is now in this MMTLP dividend situation, and they cannot cover until there is a dividend announced. So you're talking $87 million. 87 million shares are shorted possibly here. I can't remember the exact amount, but I'm going to take Charles's word for it. That Ortex showed around 80-some million shares are shorted. I believe it. We know that they were shorted for a long period of time. What do you think is a realistic 2025 price target for MMAT? Well, that's a tough question to go 5 years out. Like I said, this is a growth company. We got revenues to grow each quarter. As we announce more partnerships and things, we go from there. The big one right now, speaking just for strictly MMAT, is the gluco-wise. I think that's one that is flying a little under the radar. I've been hearing about that if that gets FDA approval, There could be some big jumps in the share price. Now, I know I had on here, I want to say, I think it was, I'm not going to be able to find it now. I can't remember where it was at. There was a post out there. I mean, yeah, the go out that far, it really depends. I mean, there could be crazy. I mean, if we get a deal with Apple, there would be a Tesla deal. I mean, that could just blow it through the water. I mean, that's just, I don't even want to go out 5 years. I'm just kind of buying this up, buying the dip, and kind of just forgetting about it. I mean, that's basically the way I'm doing it. I'm not even thinking about wanting to get rid of this. All right. Right now, it's any number it could be. It really could be anything. I do believe that it's going to be a hell of a lot higher than where it's at now. I do know that much. All right. I don't think I have it on here. No, I don't think I have it. Maybe Metamaterial News has it on his page. I know there was a post floating around of the semiconductor list. Someone made it up. And I want to find it. Yeah, here's this. But someone had a post. Okay, so here someone says, so what about 2022 then? What's my price target for 2022? I'm going to go on a modest price target, being very low. I was hoping we could find that piece. I'm not going to be able to find it. It's not going to be here. Darn it. I don't know where it was at. There was a post someone did. It might have been on Reddit. Maybe that's where it was at. So if I'm going 2022 strictly, things the way they go, I would go with that article that I've shared at 650. I would go a 650 price target. Now, like I said, that's just being, in my opinion, very conservative on the price target, which I shared that article. God, there's so much feed I can't even find it anymore. But anyway, I think 650 on MMAT is very conservative. I do believe it could go up, more than that if we announce big partnerships. If the GlucoWise gets FDA approval, yeah, 650 won't even be an option. You could be talking big money there, guys. Here it is. 650 price target for 2022 is what I'm going on. So like I said, I like to set my expectations low, and if we get a higher, thing, that would be great. That's just my personal opinion. What you think about a $20 divvy? It's possible. I have to say, I watch Roller Pigeon's stuff. She does her math, and it all makes sense. I just hope everything works out the way it's supposed to. Like I said, when George did that original interview, he said, that interview is pretty going around a lot. We covered it plenty of times. But yeah, George said 1 to 20. I think 20 now could be low because oil is a heck of a lot higher than what it was when he did back then. Just as we all have too much investment. They have to buy back MMAT and cover short edge. Yeah, Charles made a good point there. They have to buy back MMAT and cover the torch short interest. So that is going to be interesting. That's why in the meantime here, I just keep buying up, guys. That's what I'm doing. I keep buying up everything. As you can see here, the open interest on Fidelity, it just keeps accumulating. I mean, accumulating. Wonder what some of these are out here. Yeah, here you can see they have an earnings, estimated earnings report around in March 17th. So we will see if we will see if we get anything on there. So, guys, I think that's pretty much it. We've been on here for about 45 minutes or so. I think pretty much I've covered all the information I wanted to bring you. So I'll just kind of go over the comments here. All right, Tasmin says, MMTLP, can you still buy them at Fidelity? Yes, you can. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to tomorrow morning, but as of Friday, yes. You could buy MMTLP. Actually, if you go here and look at it, MMTLP. Yeah, it's still, you can trade it. Oh, it's going to go into all that, but yeah. Yeah, you can actually trade MMTLP on Fidelity, guys. But like I said, that could just wipe away tomorrow. It's possible. It could. I mean, there's this rumor about it wiping off. Are they still valid to get the dividend on them? Yes, they are. You buy MMTLP, you get the special preferred dividend. Yes. Phil says you can buy them on Schwab and TD Ameritrade. Yes, so that's 3 brokerages. So you got, so they're $1.51 right now. We will see tomorrow morning how the price action opens up on MMTLP. All right. All right, we got a comment up here from if they have 87 million shares, $6 would be a joke. MMT would be $20 even briefly. That's what I'm saying. I was just going not even off the torch on that estimate. That was just MMAT just trading normally, not of any kind of real big PR. But if we get PR, that estimate ain't even going to be close. I do agree that if we get the torch shorts being covered, we get the PR coming out, $20 might even be low in my personal opinion. Yeah, Webull unfortunately does not do OTC stock, so yeah, you cannot trade it. Hopefully they don't dilute my shares. Well, they can't dilute the MMTLP. They cannot dilute that. But while we're here, I guess we'll go over some of the FinTel. I don't know if there's any updates on the... All right, so here we go. Short squeeze score 78.59. Says there's 450,000 shares. Short bar fee 1.54. I don't think any information's different. I think I already covered this in yesterday's live stream. Yeah, I think I did, and that updated on the 14th. 51,000, but yeah. Oh, Phil here says, in fact, he bought 2 contracts on Friday at a 65 cent a bargain. Yeah, nice, Phil. For some reason, when I'm on Fidelity and if I go to sell those contracts, if I go to sell those contracts, it only let me sell them for 50 cents. So basically $50 a contract. So that's where they make the spread. I, in a sense, would sell my contract back for $50 and they would sell it, say, to Phil for $65. So they make a $15 commission on that. Isn't that something? If I would do the market order to sell my MMAT1 options contract, it would be $50, and then they would turn around and sell it for $65. So yeah, they're pretty happy to deal with those contracts. They're making lots of money. Leedy says, are you going live tomorrow? If we get any kind of breaking news, ironic enough, I got tomorrow off work. Where I'm at, we are closed. Still for New Year's, I go back to work on Tuesday. So if there is any change, any big news, you best believe I'll be going live and bringing you all that information. So like I said, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you got that bell notification on. But honestly, I think, yeah, Divi 44. I can see it, man. I really, honestly, the dividend, I can see it being about anything right now. In my personal opinion on the Divi, I mean, I did guess $7.24 on Ali's post. Trading Secrets has a tweet out there from a while back talking about guess your dividend price. I guessed my birthday just for the fun of it. Yeah, look at the bid ask here, Brian says. MMTLP says 140, and the ask is, yeah, so 40-cent spread. So 40 cent spread. That's crazy. They're making a killing on that spread. The spread, that's probably why whatever market maker had enough shares. I think they said you had to have 1 million shares of MMTLP, and someone had that, and they're making a killing on the spread on these shares. All right. Timothy said, at this point, I'm cool with 5 or 10. Me too. I mean, $5 divvy, I'm a happy camper. Anything over, I mean, honestly, even a $2 divvy, and I'm tickled because I made money. I have a low $1 average on my MMTLP. So even a $2 divvy, I made like 50%, almost 100% gains. So almost 70 to 100% gain. Larry asked, you can buy MMTLP on Webull right? No, unfortunately, you cannot buy MMTLP on Webull. I think it will let you view it, but you cannot buy it. Phil here says oil is only going up, and add the short possibility. We are set, guys. Just don't sell. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to keep a modest price target on MMAT, but there's a lot of factors throughout the year can happen. It all depends, man. If we keep the same kind of market we've been in these last 3-4 months, it could be ugly. But yeah, you can sell on Webull but not purchase. So I'm not selling my divvy for any amount right now. I can tell you that. It can go up to $5. I'm not selling my MMTLP for $5. It ain't happening. I want them to. That's how much trust I have in George. I'm not selling. If the MMTLP jumps up to $5 tomorrow, I'm not selling it. I just believe it's going to be more than that, in my opinion. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't see any way either. I just don't, unless they could. And here's what I want to see, man. Whenever this whole situation of the divvy gets announced, I want to see the math behind it, because this is going to be a huge learning curve for all of us. This is a very unique situation. I did cover in yesterday's live stream about the ConocoPhillips and how that went down. And, they got a pretty good deal. So if we get a similar deal to that, our dividend's going to be looking pretty good as well. What's the price of Oilco? Oilco right now is nothing. Oilco is just a holding company. That is possible where our MMTLP could go. Jerry asked, where can I buy MMTLP? You can buy it on Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and TD Ameritrade. That is 3 brokerages you can buy that MMTLP on. All right. So, all right, guys. I think I'm going to call it an end to the live stream. I'm going to thank you all for joining. And I'll be on the radar tomorrow, and I'll be up on the news. If anything happens, your boy will be going live instantly. Like I said, I'm going to be on the watch and hoping maybe MMTLP will disappear tomorrow. Don't freak out. If it goes down to 0, don't freak out. It means we're getting close. If anything, you see MMTLP go to 0, that's a good thing, because the divvy is coming close. So keep that in mind. You should show how to buy on Fidelity. I had a lot of difficulty. Okay. Maybe I'll see about doing that. Maybe I can see about purchasing even just 1 share of MMTLP, because I don't have much buying power on there right now. But maybe I could just show buying 1 share just to put out a video. I'll see how that works. So yeah, I'm saying not financial advice. I ain't selling. I'm not effing selling. Divvy's right around the corner. So thank you all for joining, and I will see you all tomorrow either on a live stream or a video. So I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Peace.